What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig. We're going to be going over the Bitcoin charts, starting out in the bigger time frame, going down to the smaller time frames. We'll take a look also at our charts that are all around 3 to 4 months old, maybe a little older. The Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, Dow Jones, gold, silver, and DXY. I am going to zip through this real quick. I'm going to give you some key areas to watch in all time frames, so definitely pay attention and let's get into it. So this is my theory of the, and I actually came up with this theory last year, about this being a big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This all being one big, huge bull cycle when people are still thinking in the 4-year cycle ranges. I do think it is probably about the end of the 4-year halving cycles, and I think the Bitcoin market is maturing, and I think this was one big bull cycle. If you guys remember when it was created, 2008, 2009, we had the market crash of 2008. The whole time Bitcoin has been in existence, the traditional markets have been in a bull market, and Bitcoin still corrected 80 to 90% every 4 years. Now, if the traditionals go into a bear market, that is going to be extremely bad for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, few like to talk about it. It is still 100% speculative, and it is still a risk on asset. Those are the kind of assets people run from in bear markets. So looking at this is also on the supply and demand. Supply and demand RSI on TradingView. You can see each top of the big wave, we had this big supply demand structure that broke up here on wave 3. We had another one here, and wave 5, we had one here. It does look like it's coming to an end, in my opinion. I do think this was the top, and I do think we can still go below 10,000. Does it have to? Absolutely not. Is it possible? Absolutely. Nobody knows exactly where it's going to go or what it's going to do, but we have some things pointing to it. Quite a few things that we're going to take a look at in this video. The first one being obviously the Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart that people laughed at when I actually made a video on December 2nd. You can go check it out yourself when we were way up here. I made this chart and said that this could be what we're looking at. And obviously it does seem to be playing out beautifully. On the weekly, to make this chart invalid, it would take a open and close of a weekly above this. Actually, maybe even a close above this 45.5 range, a weekly close. And depending on how far it closed or whatever, I'd rather see a weekly open and close above this orange trend line, and then that would invalidate this chart, in my opinion. But until then, this chart is valid. And if it came down the same percentage as Amazon did back here, and people say you can't compare it. Yes, you can compare it because there were a lot of .com scams. Just like there's a lot of crypto junk garbage scams that need to be washed out. And everybody thinks this is super bearish, but in the long term, if it was to play out like Amazon, it would probably take 8 to 10 years before the all-time high broke again. But when it did, it could totally skyrocket. But that 8 to 10 years would be all the time I think it would take to wash out all the altcoins. That is my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. But you can see on the RSI, it's playing out almost identical also. And in the MACD, eerily similar. So let's take a look at the weekly here. We're looking at this rising channel. The bottom of this channel, if we got down there this week or next week, it's around 34,000, give or take. We do look like the EMAs are going to cross here in the next couple weeks. The 21 EMA will cross the 55. If that happens, that is a huge sell signal, in my opinion. Technically, you wait for the cross, and the week after would have to open and close below the 8 EMA. But a break of this bottom trend line, I do think we're going down to the mid to lower $20,000 range. If you look at the weekly chart, it has plenty of room to come down. Plenty of room. We broke this trend line, came back up, retested it. We've watched it on this channel. If you guys are interested in trading before I go into the smaller time frames, this is Prime XBT. I do have a link below. You guys can check them out. You can trade for free in the contest section up here if you guys want to get familiar with the platform without risking any money. They give you free money to trade with. And if you win the contest, you can actually win tradable money to actually use to trade for real money. You can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus. SAVVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. You can trade. They've added a bunch more altcoins. You guys can check it out if you're into altcoin trading. Also, there you could trade NASDAQ, Dow, oil, S&P, gold, silver, everything all from their exchange. And you can trade pre-market on the traditional markets here without paying a fee like most exchanges make you. So definitely worth checking out if you haven't. You can, I do have a tutorial right here, shows you how to manage the leverage on there, also where to put my promo codes. Definitely check it out. There's also some other free tutorials here. Just go to my YouTube page and you can see them down here. All right, let's look at the daily. So the daily, guys, remember we were looking for a huge bear trap here in ABC. It went higher than I expected, but nevertheless, we got our ABC, and now we are in our continuation down. Now let's take a look at where we're at here. So far right now, there's really no divergence. Last divergence was this higher high right here and a lower high in the RSI. But other than that, we have no more divergence on the daily as of right now. Let's zoom in here and take a look at what's going on here. This could be a bear flag. Now the bottom of this, depending on how many days, if it comes down to the bottom, it's going to be around the 35,000 range. A break of that, we're most likely headed down to at least our first target, which is, and this would be, if it's going to be bullish, it would have to remain above this, in my opinion. So what this is this rising broadening wedge that we had here. We took a measured move from the widest point of the wedge where it broke and bring it down. That gets us to about 23.3. Now, if we take a measured move of this triangle here, depending on where it would break, that would probably get us down to around that same range. So if we came back up to the top again before coming down, but that'd be around the same range. But if this is a bear flag, I like to take the measurement from the break of the trend here, which was right here, and down to the bottom of the flag. And if that was to break, let's say we came down somewhere over in this area and broke it, or if we broke it here, give or take, it all depends on if, when, and where it breaks, but that would get us down to around the $5,000 range would be the measured move of that. If that is a bear flag, that's another thing pointing down. Guys, there are many more things pointing down than up. But again, if we break this top 10 trend line, which is going to be around that $45,000 range, we break that and open and close the daily above that, then that will most likely invalidate that Amazon chart, also invalidating the downside bear flag here. But unless we break that 45, all of this is still pointing down, in my opinion. So this is a 4-hour. I posted this chart on my Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure you give me a follow. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash that thumbs up and leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about Bitcoin and where it's headed. Curious to see how the sentiment is out there. So what I'm looking at here is a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 3 would get us down to around the 26,000, 27,000 range. Possibly another bounce up into the 30 to 32,000 range and then continue back down. Possibly, yeah, as high as 35 maybe. If this happens, as you can see, we got some major support here right around 38.5. We start opening and closing 4 hours under that again. I think we continue on down. As you can see, last time we had a break of this trend line, this is almost identical over here. We did have a little fake out before coming down for our last dip, which we could be seeing now. Obviously, this is a lot higher. We have a lot more room to go down. This does look like the RSI is resetting. In my opinion, there is some bearish divergence here, hidden bearish. If you look at this high compared to this high and look at it down here, we have a higher high on the RSI, lower high on the price action. That is hidden bearish divergence, looking bearish in my opinion. The Lux Algo indicator, that I also have a link down below. You get 20% off using my link. Let's just take a quick look at where it's at right now. If you can look at its support and resistance here, the resistance is around 38.9. So a open and close of a 4 hour above 38.9 Would say to put in along at least up to the cloud around 40,000. Next major resistance will be around 40,700. A open and close below this 37.9 is the support level. If that breaks, I think we come down to test this cloud again like we did over here. That could be somewhere in that 34,000, which matches up with some of our other targets. Ethereum. Well, first, this is my wife's webpage, inkimage.com. Links down below. The newest thing she added, I believe, is this Tumblr. Whether you're a bull or a bear, definitely check it out. She has a lot of cool stuff on there, guys. Also, Ethereum. So Ethereum is right around our support resistance level, 25.59. Like I've been talking about, it open and close of a 4-hour below this, 1850, I believe, is the next stop. If we are in a multi-year bear market, like I do believe we could be in, we could be seeing $700 or much lower, and we'll look at this as it goes on. Litecoin, as you guys know, it is, well, let's look at Ethereum real quick. It's below all the EMAs here, so it is getting rejected by the EMAs. Same thing with Litecoin. Litecoin I see down to the $20 range, possibly much lower if we are in a multi-year bear market. It's also getting rejected at all the EMAs here. These charts are all very old, guys. We've been watching these charts for a long time. XRP down to the 20-cent range, possibly much lower if we are in a multi-year bear market. Dow Jones, we called this perfectly. Once we broke this, open and closed the candle below, we were bearish, came back up to retest last week like we were expecting. Our measured move target of the Dow here is around 30,700, 30,800 points, in that range. Let's see how this closes today. As of right now, it is making some hidden bearish or hidden bullish bullish divergence. No, it isn't. It's making a higher high here. So no divergence yet. Let's see where this closes today. I'm still majorly bearish on the Dow. Ooh, gold almost hit our target up here of 2081. If it does retrace back to this 1970, I would expect a bounce back up to this range. We do get above that 21 or 2081 and make that support. That's going to be very bullish for gold. We will be keeping a close eye on that. It has not broken the all-time high yet. Let's look at silver. Silver, we got rejected at our 26.49. We did wick above it. If we do get above the 26.49 and make that support, our next stop for silver is going to be right up here at the 27.94. DXY, as you guys know, I have been and will remain bullish on the DXY. Everyone was calling me crazy for being bullish down here. We can see what happened. Basically, it's DXY is a basket of currencies against the US dollar. Everything else is falling apart, so it makes the dollar stronger. Although we do have inflation, the dollar is still stronger than all the other currencies. So let's see what we do come back down to this 98.45 range. I do believe if we do, let's look at the RSI. RSI is kind of high here. I still think we have higher to go though. Possibly up to there. Possibly back up to our 102 range, somewhere in that range. Like I said, we could get a little dip before, but that will be our first point of rejection. Now we get up and above that, as you guys know, on the weekly. I do think this will tell us when the bear market is over. We look at the DXY on the weekly, zoom in, and you can see every time we ended a bear market and started a bull market, the dollar had topped out. This is back in 2009. And this would be, I believe, sometime in the middle or end of 2023. Once you see the dollar around this range, I think it'd be a good time to be getting back into the markets if you are out at that time. So thanks again for watching, guys. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos, and leave your comments below. Take it easy. Have a great day.